Namaste. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Mahima D. Purushothaman from Kerala. I am a physics NEET faculty. I had secured MSc degree from Calcutta University, BA degree from Calcutta University, and I also passed a SET exam for teaching the 11th and 12th students. And I have more than 5 year experience in school higher secondary level, as well as more than 4 year experience as a NEET faculty role. Okay, today we will start one topic, kinematics, the motion in a straight line, the class 11 topic. Let us start our topic, the kinematics. What is kinematics? Kinematics means it is the study of motion. Okay, it is the study of motion without considering the force acting on it. Without considering the force acting on it. We don't want any force. In this case, for studying the motion, we don't want any force. That term we can call kinematics. Then don't confused with another term, kinetics. Kinetics means it deals with the force. Okay, the study of motion which deals with the force. Force also we can consider in kinetics. But kinematics means it is a study of motion without considering the force acting on it. And for studying the motion, we need some terms. What are the terms? The position. Okay, then displacement or distance, velocity or speed, acceleration. Then we need another term, that is time. Time also we want for studying the motion, for one point to another point, how much time is needed. That also time also another term. These are the terms needed for studying the motion of the body. First of all, displacement, distance, velocity and speed. What is the any difference between velocity and speed and displacement distance? What is that? For describing these differences, we want to know what is scalar and vector. Scalar and vector. Scalar and vector. The measurable physical quantities. Measurable quantities are known as physical quantities. And physical quantities can be classified under the scalar and vector. What is scalar quantity? From smaller classes onwards, you are studying the differences between scalar quantity and vector quantity. What is scalar quantity and vector quantity? Scalar quantity means having only one magnitude. Only one magnitude. Magnitude only. Okay. Magnitude. Only one magnitude. Only one magnitude. Here having magnitude as well as direction. Direction, x-axis direction, y-axis direction, z-axis direction. Can be involved 3 axes, some other point in space. We can describe with the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis simultaneously. Okay, so vector means both magnitude and direction. But another one mistake is, we know that some physical quantities having magnitude as well as direction, but it is not under the vectors. Why? Because for considering that physical quantity as a vector, we want one assumption. That means that physical quantity need to follow the vector addition, vector multiplication. Vector addition, vector multiplication is not the same as the scalar addition and scalar multiplication. We know that 3 plus 4 is equal to 7 as the case of scalar addition. But in the case of vector addition, it is not like that. Vector multiplication is not like that. So we need to consider the direction also. So all the physical quantity which having the both direction and magnitude not under the case of vectors. That quantity need to follow vector addition, vector multiplication, etc. Okay, dot product, cross product, etc. Okay, then these two terms, displacement, distance, velocity, speed, both are not under scalar and both are not under vector. We need to find which quantities belongs to scalar, which quantities belongs to vector quantity. Okay. And for studying the motion, first we need to describe what is position. What is position? And this is my position. What is position here? Actually, I am not in motion. I am standing still here. Okay. And this is the initial position of me. And if I am walking like this, I changed my position. Okay, I changed my position. That means the initial point where the particle, that point is known as position of the particle. Okay, and position of the particle. And displacement. What is displacement? And what is distance? We will discuss in detail. Wait. Displacement, distance. Displacement and distance. Displacement and distance. Small difference only. But if you are not aware of that, full wrong only. Listen. This is the point. This is the initial position and this one is the final position. One man, okay, he's the, and he can move in a straight line. He can move through this path, this path, this path, this path, any path he can choose. And he can choose this straight line. If this man is an ideal man, he will choose this straight line. Okay, if this man is not an ideal man, means he will choose these lines, because here one shop for eating purpose, here one shop for ice cream, eating ice cream. Okay, so this path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From these 5 paths, only the shortest path, only the ideal path. This is the ideal path. Okay. And this path, this is the shortest path, is known as displacement of the body. Shortest path. Shortest path is known as displacement of the body. Then what is distance? Distance means this unwanted path. Long distance. And can we consider this also distance? Yes. This also we can consider as distance. Why? Distance means it is the total path covered by the body. That is the meaning. It is the total path covered by the body. Total path. Total path covered by the body. So we can consider the shortest path also the total path. Total path. Okay. This. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All are distance only, and from this the shortest path is the third, that is displacement, that is under the displacement. So the displacement depends only on the final position and initial position, not on the path. He can move through different path, but it depends only on the initial and final position. Okay. So the displacement depends on initial position and final position. Here in order depending upon the initial and the final position. And for displacement, suppose one man, he moves from A to B and then again B to A. Then initial and final point is A only. So that the shortest path between initial and final point, both are same, means what is the shortest path? 0 only. No path. So it can be 0. And we will consider A to B as positive. Then return, if that person return back to the same point, we can consider it as negative. So why? Because why? You can consider A to B as x and B to A as x, and which is equal to 0. We already got, because initial and final points are same. So first point, this is positive and this one is negative, then only it becomes 0. So displacement in the opposite direction, we can consider it as negative quantity. So this is 0 or negative quantity, or we can consider it as a positive quantity. Okay. And in this case of distance, distance can only the positive value. Only the positive value, no negative value. Okay. If any path is not covered, means we can consider what is the distance. If the car remains for one day, it remains there, one place, and car is not moving, so we can consider the distance. Sometimes it is as a 0 also, no distance. What is the meaning of 0 distance? It is a no distance. It is not moving. It is at rest. It is not moving means it is at rest. That is the meaning. So it can't have the value negative. Only the positive sometimes we can consider. If the rest, it is at rest, means it is considered as 0. So we need to discuss some other examples for explaining these two. Suppose this is the circle of radius. This is the circle of radius R. Okay, this is the circle of radius R. Actually, some mistake, but assume this is a circle. Okay, and this is the point O and this is the point A. A particle is moving from A to just opposite point, diametrically opposite point, up to this it reached. Then what is distance? Distance, we know that the total perimeter of the circle is 2 pi r. So it covered the half of the perimeter. That means perimeter divided by 2. Perimeter of the circle divided by 2. That is 2 pi r divided by 2, which is equal to pi r. This is the distance. Meter, in terms of meter. Okay. Displacement means, what is displacement? Displacement means it is the initial and the final point distance. What is the distance between initial and final point? That is displacement. So the displacement equal to, what is this r and this is r, totally 2r. It is the displacement. Okay. Suppose if it is covered A to this full circle, means what is the distance for full circle? Full circle means it is 2 pi r. And what is displacement? displacement is equal to 0. In this case, displacement is equal to 0. Okay, another one. We will consider another circle, and this is the center. Initially this point A. Okay, and after some time this point B. And it cover suppose it is 60 degree. It covers 60 degree. How we can find out the distance and displacement from this? We know that 60 means total angle is 360, then 360 divided by 60, that is 6. This is the 1/6th part of the total circle. We know that the total perimeter is 2 pi r, and from that by 6, 1/6th of 2 pi r. So distance is 1/6 of the perimeter. 1/6 of the perimeter, 1/6 into 2 pi r, which is equal to 2 and 6 cancelled, and 2 pi r divided by 3. This is the answer of distance. But we want to find out the displacement. We know that this is the shortest path. This is the shortest path. We called it as a displacement. This is the A to B. Okay, we want to find out. So we will divide this into two equal halves. This is 30 degree. This is 30 degree. This is 30 degree. This is 30 degree. This is the radius. R. R is the radius. And this much distance is x, and this also x, because we divided into two halves. So what is x from here? We know that the x is, we can take the sine 30. Sine 30 equal to x by opposite side by r. Then x is equal to r sine 30. Sine 30 means 1/2. 1/2. So x is equal to r by 2. X is equal to r by 2. Then another x. The total distance is a 2x. That means 2 into r by 2, which is equal to r, is the answer. So the displacement is equal to r. R is the displacement, and this distance is equal to pi r by 3. This is how we can find out the distance A to B. And suppose this is a 120 degree. 120 degree means we need to divide it into 2, that is 60. Sine 60 equal to x by r. Find out x from that and find out 2x, and that is the displacement. Okay, you can change the angles. You can change the angles and you can solve some more problems by yourselves. Okay, next, velocity, speed. We want to find out what is the difference between velocity and speed. And same difference only. Well, the dependency, depends on displacement and distance. So same only. What are the difference between displacement and distance? These are the same things we need to find. The velocity, speed. Okay, here V, here S. V for vector and S for scalar. Okay, vector and scalar. And velocity is equal to displacement by time. Here distance by time. Okay, so we know that the displacement can be positive, negative, or 0. Like that, the velocity can be positive, negative or 0 value. Okay, then for considering the speed having the positive value only. Suppose the body at rest, no speed, we can consider it is a 0 value. In the both case, the units are meter per second. And these are the very simple terms, and from this another terms also, the average speed, instantaneous speed, average velocity, instantaneous velocity. Then what is average, what is instantaneous? Instant, one small time, what is the velocity, what is the speed, that is instantaneous velocity or instantaneous speed. Suppose one car is moving from A to B, B to C, C to D, like that it is moving with a different velocity. We need to find out the average velocity. So another equation we need to find out for average velocity, for average speed. Okay, we will now discuss the average velocity and average speed instead of the instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed, because for finding the instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed, we need to study another things, that is differentiation as well as integration. And for this purpose I am teaching the next as the average speed or average velocity. Average speed, it is the total distance divided by total time taken, and average velocity is the total displacement divided by total time. You know that if the total displacement is equal to 0 for the whole round from A to B, B to A, total displacement is equal to 0. So the total displacement is equal to 0. So the average velocity is also equal to 0. We will solve some problems. First problem. This is the point A and this is the point B. Initially, the particle moves from A to B with a velocity v1 and return back with the velocity v2. Okay, return back with the velocity v2. Find out the average speed and average velocity. How we can find out? We already know the average velocity, the total displacement, A to B, B to A. A to B means it is positive, B to A means it is negative. So, the total displacement is equal to 0. So, the average velocity equal to 0. Don't want to find out. But average speed is not equal to 0. We need to find out what is the average speed. So, what is the formula? What is the equation? Total distance divided by total time. So, the average speed equal to total distance. But here distance is not given. Time also not given. Only the velocity v1 and v2 the velocities. Suppose the distance is x. Why we are considering x? Because A to B and B to A both are same only. So x, A to B x, B to A x, total distance 2x. 2x divided by time is not given. So we need to find out. We know that the velocity is equal to, what is velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Initially the time t1 we will take, that is velocity v1, and v2 is equal to x, same displacement, and t2. Then from this, what is t1? Just interchange this v1 and v2, exchange. Then t1 is equal to x by v1, t2 is equal to x by v2. Here the total time t1 plus t2, and which is equal to, we can tell 2x divided by 2x divided by x by v1 plus x by v2. Okay, x by v1, x by v2. Then we will do here. Listen, x we can take it out. 2x divided by x 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. X cancelled each other. The final answer is 2 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2, or we can solve it as v2 v1 and v1 v2 both in the numerator, that is v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. This is the equation. 2 v1 v2 2 v1 v2 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. This is our equation. Okay, this is the case of this problem only, and we will find out another equation in different problems we will solve, because all problem, but these are all asked in new values only. They will give the value v1 as 5 meter per second, 6 v2 as 6 meter per second, then what is the average speed. So we need to use this equation for this purpose. Either you can by heart this equation, or you can solve like this. Next problem. Second problem. One particle is moving from A to B. This is the total distance is A to C is the total. Okay. And one particle is moving from A to B. This is the half distance. Half distance. This is the half distance. Half distance covered with a velocity v1. Another half distance covered with another velocity v2. Then find out average speed and average velocity. In this case, the displacement is not equal to 0, so average speed is equal to average velocity. First, to find out what is average speed or average velocity. Average speed or average velocity. We know that the equation is the total distance or displacement. In this case, both are same. Divided by total time. Okay, what is the total displacement here? We know that here x by 2, here x by 2, totally x divided by total time. We don't know what is here, what is here. We will write like this, t1 plus t2. We need to find out, we will find out what is t1 and t2. And from this data, what is v1? v1 is equal to displacement by time, x by 2 into time, and v2 x by 2 into t2. And from this equation we will solve, we will find out what is t1 and t2. What is t1 from this? Just exchange. t1 is equal to x by 2v1, t2 is equal to x by 2v2. Okay, just substitute x divided by x by 2v1 plus x by 2v2. X common, cancelled each other. So 1 divided by 2v1 plus 2v2. 1 divided by 1 by 2v1 plus 1 by 2v2. Okay. Then cross multiply each other, or 1 by 2 we can take it out. Then 2 divided by 1 by v1, 1 by v2. And which is equal to, it is 2v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. It is both for average speed as well as average velocity. If this is the half distance, then we can take, these are the equation. Next problem. Third problem. Third problem is like that. The half of the distance is covered with the velocity v1. Okay. Another half of distance The first half is covered with the velocity v2 and second half is traveled with the velocity v3. Okay, then find out average velocity. That is the question. How we can find out this type of question? Initially, the total half. Suppose the total half we will tell total distance 2x. Okay. Then half of the 2x means x. Here x. Then here also x. The half distance traveled. This is the half distance, and this also half distance. Half distance traveled with a different velocity, and we need to find out what is the average speed or average velocity. In this case, both are same because the displacement is not equal to 0. The displacement is equal to the distance. So, the average speed or velocity equal to total distance or displacement divided by total time. What is the total distance? You know that it is 2x. Total time. Suppose this is the time t1, here time t1, here time t2, and here time t3. Okay. Then t1 plus t2 plus t3. And we need to find out what is t1, t2, t3 from this given data. And from this we know that t1 is equal to x by v1. And from this t2 is equal to x by 2 v2. X by 2 v2. And t3 equal to x by 2 v3. Just to substitute the, which is equal to 2x divided by x by v1 plus x by 2 v2 x by 2 v3. Here x common, take it out and cancel with this then which is equal to 2 by 1 by v1 1 by 2 v2 1 by 2 v3. Then first we need to find out v1 v2. Okay, v1 v2 means how we can find out v2 common denominator we want. So 2 multiply here, 2 multiply into 2 into 2 multiply. Then what is this? Here 1 by 2 1 by 2 1 by 2 common. So 2 divided by 1 by 2 we can take it out. Then 2 by v1 1 by v2 1 by v3. Okay. So the final answer, the 2 it's become 4. So it become 4 divided by, here what is that? v2 2 v2 v3 plus v1 v3 plus v2 v1 divided by v1 plus v1 v2 v3. So the final answer 4 into v1 v2 v3 divided by 2 v2 v3 plus v1 v3 v2 v1. This is our final answer. Okay. Next type of problem, that is when a body covers A to B with a velocity v1 at a time interval x. Okay, this is the half distance and it is covered with a velocity v1 at a time interval t. And next half B to C with a time interval t, same only, but one another thing, half of the time covered with the velocity v2 and half of the time covered with the velocity v3. Find out average speed or average velocity. Then total distance. What is the total distance? 2x divided by total time. Total time. So we don't know how much distance is covered with the velocity v2. So suppose x1 is the distance covered with the velocity v2 at the time interval t by 2, and x2 is another distance covered with the velocity v3 at the time interval t by 2. Okay, that means the same time interval it cover these two distance with the velocity v2 and v3. Then what is t here? what is x1 here? We know that v2 is equal to x1 divided by time interval t by 2. Okay, then what is t by 2? T by 2 is equal to x1 divided by v2, or we can write x1. What is x1? x1 is equal to t by 2 v2. Like that, what is x2? x2 is equal to t by 2 v3. Okay, but x1 plus x2, what is x1 plus x2? Total distance x. Okay, then what is x? X is equal to t by 2 v2 plus v3. Then what is the time here? What is the time? T is equal to 2x divided by v2 plus v3. Just bring these two denominator to numerator. So t is equal to 2x by v2 plus v3. Okay, then what is t here? T is equal to x by v1. Then substitute here, which is equal to 2x divided by x by v1 plus 2x divided by v2 plus v3. Okay, then x common, take it out and cut with the numerator x. So 2 by x by v1, sorry 1 by v1 plus 2 by v2 v3. Okay, then find out, which is equal to 2, multiply with this v2 plus v3 and multiply this plus 2v1 and multiply 2 totally, then bring to the numerator v1 v2 plus v3. This is our answer. Okay, and for every cases the equations are different equations. One more problem we will discuss. The last problem we will discuss, that is, suppose this is the a straight line A to B, and we are dividing this A to B with the n in same segments, n segments. Okay, and the first segment with the velocity v1, v2, v3, v4, like that, vn. Then what is the average velocity? Average velocity or average speed is equal to total distance or displacement divided by total time. Since these segments have same distance and n segments are there, so we can take it as x is the length of n segments. So the total distance is nx divided by total time. What is here? It is t1 plus t2 plus etc. tn. Okay, then what is t1 and t2? t1 means x by v1. So nx divided by x by v1, x by v2, x by v3, etc. x by vn. Okay. So x cancelled each other. Final answer n divided by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus etc. 1 by vn. This is our final answer. We can solve this equation with n equal to 2, n equal to 4, n equal to 5, like that. But we need to know what is v1, v2, v3, etc. I am winding up this section. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.